We were actually discussing it during the match, and I can't ever remember that happening before. It's such an unusual incident. But you look at it, and it's very, very difficult when you see it in a cold light of day like that to say it's not a foul.
What about Kulusevski?
Yeah, so let's have a look then what happened earlier in the day in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Dejan Kulusevski here with Anthony Gordon, not with the head, but with the shoulder. Oh. Nothing was given here.
I think this is a penalty as well, Manish. I think it's a penalty anyhow, because I think of how he catches him. If you watch there, his shoulders up, he catches him in the face, he catches him in the nose. And you see here, he's nowhere near the ball.
How can they watch this? How can they watch that, and not give that as a pen? But they can watch this one with Saliba and give it as a pen. If they gave that as a pen, then I would take this one, no problem. Yeah. But I'm not just seeing.
And I think, Righty, that's why I'm sat here in front of the camera talking to you, isn't it? Because if they were both given as penalties, you go, fair enough. If they were both given not as penalties, say fair enough. But when you compare them, without doubt, in my opinion, the Kulusevski is the worst of the two. I think that should be a penalty. The second one's a referee's on-field call, so that's why that's given.
Yeah, the contact is there and clear to see, isn't it?
I feel Kulusevski makes his body a little bit bigger just at the end there to make sure he doesn't get past. And for me, they're both stonewall penalties.
I think the clue here as well, Glenn, is the ball. If you watch the ball, where the ball is in relation to the challenge, he's so late. For me, it's got to be a penalty.
Yeah. Another flashpoint in the game at the Amex, Dermot, was when the penalty was being prepared to be taken. Jorginho, amongst the whole group of players on the edge of the 18-yard box. You will see it, I suppose, in the second angle. You can just see a kick out there with his right leg on the Brighton player. Nothing was spotted or given at the time. Is there a punishment to be warranted here?
Well, I think you've got to go through the nuts and bolts of this. Firstly, priority for the officials on the field is the penalty, you know, is the goalkeeper moving, all that. Nobody really looks outside the penalty area for that. It gets picked up by the VAR, and then he's hamstrung to a certain extent, because you look at that and you think, it's petulant. I don't think it's a red card, and I don't think anybody would expect a red card for that. So therefore, he's got all or nothing. He doesn't think it's a red card. He can't recommend a yellow card. He can't recommend a public admonishment. So his hands are tied, so effectively they've got away. But
so VAR could only interfere if it was a straight red?
Absolutely.
But Derm, in the rules of the game, if you attempt to use or use excessive force against an opponent, and even if you don't make contact, then that's deemed to be a red card. Is that not the case there?
It's got to be deemed violent or an act of violence or brutality, Glenn. And hand on heart, I would never say that was a violent kick out. I think it's petulant. I think it's very, very unwise. But I didn't expect him to see a red card. So,
Derm, suppose he does that. He can't see where Veltman is. Suppose he catches him on his knee there. Then what?
Well, I think that
because he can't see where he is. It's not like he's like we saw the elbow the other day where he's just missed.
Pedro, as it happened.
Yeah. So with that, he can't see him. So you're saying that if you know it's petulant. If he catches his knee, then it's violent. He can't see if he's going to catch the knee or not.
Yeah, but you can only go on what happens, Righty. You know, you look at that.
It's the intention, though.
Yeah, but I still go back, that's petulant. I don't think it's violent, and I think we've got to be very careful we don't get wrapped up in what happened a week ago.
Derm, what about Pedro's one? That looks like it's petulant.
We can't get wrapped up in it. We all know, Righty, that a week ago, if a red card had come out there, nobody would be arguing with it. It was, you know, that was a sheer act of violence that went on unpunished.
Okay, Dermot, thanks very much indeed. It's only taken you 4 days of 2025 to get your tin hat on, but thanks very much indeed.
Look at Dermot, his cool blue shirt. Look at him.
Cheers, Dermot, as always. A former Premier League referee, Dermot Gallagher. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that does to appease your point of view. I know at the end of the day, you just want a level of consistency.
That's all it is.
As everybody else does.
See, I'll go with Glenn. Like Glenn says, like he'll give that as a stonewall penalties.
Yeah.
You know, if they gave Kulusevski's, then I would say, yeah, they've got to do it. I'm sorry, the inconsistency is not good enough. I'd go with the same with the Tottenham goal. No, I'm not. Even that one's confused me. I don't know what to believe in it. I don't know what to do.
Okay, I tell you. Yeah. Well, while you try and figure out what to do, let's get some post-match reaction from Jean-Paul.